We're really celebrating Neighborworks Week this week, and that's the one time in the year where we celebrate the accomplishments of the 240 Neighborworks organizations like Home Headquarters throughout the country who work each and every day to revitalize their communities and build affordable housing. Home Headquarters is extremely fortunate to be a Neighborworks member because they provide us with operating support, much needed capital that we use for revolving loan funds to provide loans to people who maybe can't qualify for traditional bank financing. And equally as importantly, Neighborworks America provides technical assistance and training to our staff and to our board and for our partners in such things as lending, homeownership counseling, community engagement, financial literacy, foreclosure intervention, and much more. So thank you, Neighborworks America, and thank you, Desiree, for being here. Today we also want to celebrate these three beautiful homes. Two are just about done and one still under construction that we think represents the very best in community development work. These homes supplement our other investments that have been made in the Park Ave neighborhood that include 17 completely redeveloped properties, and you may all remember that all started with the Five Sisters on Park Ave. 47 loans and grants that we've provided to existing homeowners in the neighborhood, and an additional 10 new homeowners that we've created in the neighborhood. But for those of you that know the history of this site, it had been home to three very troubled, fire-ravaged, vacant properties. We've got some pictures here for those of you before and after, for those of you who may not be familiar. And it took a really concentrated effort and lots of planning with neighborhood residents, the city, and the county to take down those 26 horrific units. And the plan all along was to build these three new owner-occupied homes so that we could maintain the urban scale and fit into the residential fabric of the neighborhood. That was the plan right from the beginning. But as you know, in the world of community development, no good deed goes unpunished. When we began excavating this site, we ran into some really horrendous soil conditions. So bad, in fact, that once we dug the initial holes, we actually filled them back in after we had dug down about 16 feet because we really couldn't find solid footing. We began to doubt that we could ever find the resources that would be necessary to perform the exploratory engineering and design work that would be required to build anything on these lots. And we began to look at alternatives, such as maybe a pocket park or something like that. And certainly we need to thank Jeff Romano and really all the residents in the neighborhood who let their opinions be known very loud and very clearly to us and the city and the county that they really wanted us to follow up on the plans to build new homes. And again, with the great partnerships that we had with the city, the county, and fortunately the state of New York through the Division of Housing and Community Renewal, we were able to get it done. And with respect to the construction of these homes, we must really congratulate our own construction crew under the incredible leadership of Dan Wright. And Dan is not here today because we can never get Dan to these events. He's in a ditch somewhere, he told me, with crushed stone, and he didn't feel like it was appropriate for him to be here. But under Dan's leadership, these homes really turn out beautifully. You know, 4 years ago, we felt it was absolutely essential to develop our own construction crew in an affiliate that we call Opportunity Headquarters. Frankly, we just came to believe that most of the affordable housing that was being built in this city, particularly the new construction for owner-occupants, was nothing that anyone was really proud of, and we needed to change that. We found that by using our own crew, we can control the cost, the quality, the timeliness of new construction and rehabilitation projects. And we found that by buying right and in bulk, we can have amenities such as hardwood floors and ceramic tile without increasing the cost of construction. Further, these homes have many features that you'd expect to find in LEED certified homes, such as super high efficiency furnaces, Energy Star windows, air sealing with the Energy Complete system, R49 attic insulation, Energy Star fans, low VOC paints. All of these enhancements make the home safer, more energy efficient, and less costly to maintain for the first-time home buyers who purchase them. Plus, part of the mission of Opportunity Headquarters is to operate a construction apprentice program And we're proud that our latest group of apprentices, and that's Julian and Travis, under the watchful eye of Elroy Edwards, if you guys could, thank you. They all worked on these homes and got hands-on experience with concrete pavers, ceramic tiles, siding installation, and much more. What a great training experience. We're also pleased to be meeting and exceeding our minority business enterprise and women business enterprise goals and our Section 3 goals, and we thank all those minority and women contractors and their employees for their hard work in getting these projects done. One other matter that I'd really like to highlight today is the work of our new real estate subsidiary, CNY Affordable Realty. We formed this entity just about a year ago, and it's somewhat unique because it's a real estate broker that is a 501c3 not-for-profit. Now that might really sound like an oxymoron or a contradiction. A real estate broker that's a not-for-profit? It's somewhat of a novel concept. And initially we started slow. They were listing just home headquarters homes, but we're growing. We now have 3 licensed sales agents, Mary Jo Richer, Ray Ortiz, and Christine Zivica. And today with Kelly Geider, our administrator, they'll be showing you these houses. I'm happy to say that they've found buyers for each of these homes to amazing families, and we're working with them on financing right now. What's different about our sales agents is they don't get commissions, period. So if it takes them a long time to work with a home buyer, to realize their dream of purchasing a home, or to take extra time with a listing, that's just fine. Because as a not-for-profit, our success is driven by the outcome for the neighborhood, not the motivation of profit. I really just think we're starting to understand that it's a powerful tool to have our own real estate brokerage, and it's something that, particularly in times of reduced federal and state funding, will really be quite powerful. I also think we're not necessarily well understood by the real estate community at large right now, but working with the leadership like Lenore Fetco with the Greater Syracuse Association of Realtors, we know that that'll come in time. Again, I thank you all for coming today, and please take your time and enjoy these beautiful homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. As I was listening to you, I thought, what else is there to say other than thank you? Carrie has described to you the enormous and important and intricate work that Home Headquarters does, and the partnerships that Home Headquarters has with clearly the city. Sometimes the partnerships I think Carrie wonders about because they go from being Home Headquarters employees to city employees and back and forth. There is nothing more important to a city than providing the people who live there affordable quality housing. And Home Headquarters has not only done that, but exceeded the high standards that we have for ourselves. As we stand here today on a beautiful spring day and we look across the street and think about the opportunities that this house will provide for a family, to have their children go to school across the street, to be able to walk to parks, to be able to walk down perhaps when they reach 21 to the Middle Ages Brewery, not before. But to be able to have a walkable, healthy neighborhood that you can have the kind of amenities. Without the work that Home Headquarters has done, we in the city would not be able to provide that. But by joining with us, we are able to provide that. And also, then Home Headquarters, as Carrie also touched on, has expanded that mission to make sure that we're taking truly the strongest assets of our community, the people who live here, and train them and help them get jobs, help them build the very houses for their neighborhood, and also put people in the real estate business so that we can market these to the people who live in our city. So when you talk about providing this kind of service to the city, it is being done by the talented people who occupy our city. And again, that's being done because of the extraordinary work that Home Headquarters is doing and their board. And I've served on enough boards to know, Anthony, that Home Headquarters board does extraordinary work, and it does extraordinary work because of the people who sit on the board and really, truly commit it. Normally, when I see Anthony at these kind of events, he's got jeans on and a T-shirt, and there's lots of dirt all over him. So it's kind of unusual to see him in a suit and tie. So when they say Home Headquarters is a working board, they mean it in more than the traditional way. But we're here today to celebrate, to say thank you to Home Headquarters, to say thank you to the workers who provided this, and to also celebrate what can be so fantastic about living in the city of Syracuse and being able to provide that opportunity to yet another family, and in this case, 2 families and soon a third. So thank you all very much for coming, and all of you who worked on this, congratulations.
and I want to thank Carrie, the board at home headquarters, your team, Karen Schroeder, and everyone who helped work on this. This is another example of a great private-public partnership. And the City of Syracuse, the mayor, the common council, the codes department, community development, I'm very familiar from my career as a counselor, how hard and the collaborative efforts that it takes to make something like this happen. I also wanted to thank the neighborhood associations, the Park Ave neighbors. I see Sean here. I see Mr. Romano here. I see representatives from the Tipperary Hill Neighborhood Association. I think Bob Oberst is here somewhere. And this is a great victory for the West Side. And the County of Onondaga is happy to have played a role in this. And there was community initiative money that was spent here to help collaborate and offset funds from the City of Syracuse, from the State of New York. And I think it's important on a successful day like today to remember the story of where these funds came from. And it came from when the county executive, Joni Mahoney, became county executive of her bold initiative that was later funded by the legislature to, instead of put a regional treatment plant in a neighborhood, and really in 2 or 3 different city neighborhoods, to go with the Save the Rain program, which is now nationally renowned. And the savings from that decision went to be reinvested right back into the neighborhood. So I'm very pleased to see this type of success story today. These collaborations are what make our community fantastic. And as the chairman of the legislature in the County of Onondaga now, I'm pleased to be a part of it, and I look forward to these collaborations going forward in the future. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good day. On behalf of Commissioner Dale Towns, I want to congratulate Home Headquarters, Carrie, Crystal, and your team. I also want to congratulate the City of Syracuse, Mayor Miner and her staff, as well as Chairman McMahon and the County of Onondaga. Congratulations on a wonderful partnership that we're proud to be a part of. Home Headquarters was able to do this project in part thanks to a $1 million grant received of federal home funding through the New York State Homes and Community Renewal through the 2011 Consolidated Funding Application Process. For those of you who are not familiar, the CFA was part of the Regional Economic Development Council effort that Governor Cuomo put forward, and they received funding through the competitive application process that went with that in 2011. In a lot of ways, this project really exemplifies the qualities that were put forward in the CFA process and the regional council effort. Not only are we building housing and homes for people to live, but we're creating economic opportunity, and we're building more sustainable, more viable urban neighborhoods in an urban center. So there's many outcomes being achieved here. Home Headquarters has a long tradition of being able to do that, of being able to balance multiple, frequently competing objectives and achieve them successfully. And I'm glad to say they're achieving them successfully this time in my neighborhood, because I'm also a resident of the West Side. I live and work on this side of the city. So I'm glad to see Home Headquarters doing great things near me and where I live. So congratulations to everybody and to this neighborhood for what I'm sure is going to be the beginning of a much larger, more successful revitalization effort that I know is already underway and yielding great results. So good luck.
It's a great joy for me to stand here in front of y'all today on the 800 block of Park Ave, a long kind of beleaguered block. We've always had this kind of hole in the center of this block, but now look what we have to stand in front of. So I can't say thank you enough to everybody that was involved. And yeah, I may be a pest at sometimes, Carrie, but look at the results. Look at the results from neighborhood involvement. This just speaks to the quality of home ownership that we look for in our neighborhoods today. What does Home Headquarters do with homeowners? Well, they train them, they fund them, but we look forward to having more homeowners instead of slumlords, in which these 2 of these apartment buildings that stood here were out of state owners that just limbered in a beleaguered state. But bringing in homeowners, what do we get? We get stability in our neighborhood. We get stability in our schools. We get stabilities in our local storefronts right here on the 900 block of Park Ave. We get a cultural identity. We get a sustainability of our city, as Mayor Miner had mentioned. We do enjoy our walk to Middle Ages Brewery. And what do we get in the end? We get a rejuvenized neighborhood and rejuvenized city, and that's what we all are standing here in support of today, is a better city for today and a better city for tomorrow. So I know, just in a quick statement, we have some longtime residents 2 doors down. I wish they were still here with us today. They've been there since 1946, but she passed away 2 years ago, Laura Vanette. she would be absolutely overjoyed at this renewal here on her block that she long fought for and advocated for. So I'm glad I'm able to stand here and see this happen for her, because I know she's looking down on us today about it and smiling very, very brightly. So if the sun could come out, I'm sure she would put it out there for us. But with that said, I'd like just to thank everybody for showing up. And again, thank you all for this great endeavor that we have put ourselves into, and I look forward to more of them over here on the Park Ave neighborhood and this beautiful spine that we currently stand on. So thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
And you know, Jeff talked about the homeowners, and we're pleased to be joined. John Claude, could you just wave for a minute? And his young family is here, and John Claude is the purchaser of 820, the house that's not done just yet. I'm sure he and his family are going to be very thankful to bring you through. Very excited.